welcome to this edition of Student of the Game, Rewind Edition. I'm your boy, Ro, contributor of SB Nation State of the U and OG member of the Orange Bowl Boys. Let's go back to 1998, home of the Edgerrin James going off party. Yes, Edgerrin James had 299 total rushing yards, including 3 rushing scores, to go ahead and on his backs carry the Miami Hurricanes to an improbable win against then undefeated with 20 games in a row. They didn't lose UCLA coming into town, and their national championship dreams died on the floors of the Orange Bowl when an errant Hail Mary pass was the last play of the game by then quarterback Cade McNown. Now, some of the temperature that was going on at the time, I remember a lot of chatter for Butch Davis's job. You got to remember the game before, they played Syracuse and they got embarrassed by Donovan McNabb, the quarterback then, 66-13. Miami was coming off sanctions, so they were trying to go ahead and rebound. And this was the beginning. This was the precipice. This is when it launched into the 2001 season and national championship. It was this game, in my opinion, that rebounded the Miami Hurricanes from pretenders to contenders and then beyond. You had some names on the offensive side of the ball. We mentioned Edgerrin James, but Scott Covington was your quarterback. Reggie Wayne was injured that game, but you had Santana Moss. I named a pet parrot Santana after Santana Moss. On the defensive side of the ball, are you kidding me? Dan Morgan, number 44. And then you had Ed Reed, who came up with a controversial fumble, but it was his jarring, devastating hit that led the University of Miami Hurricanes to have that final drive that put him ahead when Edgerrin James scored his third and final touchdown of the game. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this edition of Student of the Game, Rewind Edition. So before we continue our time travel to 1998 to watch the UCLA Bruins play the Miami Hurricanes, why don't we pay homage to these two goats? On the left, South Florida sports anchor extraordinaire Frank Fort, and on the right, John Congemi, who, by the way, he would sub in and be my quarterback coach in high school. What's up, coach? Miami is facing a third down on its first drive and in the shadows of its own end zone. But before we get to the result of the play, why don't we talk about the cast and characters in 1998, shall we? At the top of the screen, these twin receivers to the field side. You have number 84, Andre King, and number 6, a playmaking dynamo, and Santana Moss. Man, how electric was that guy? And in speaking of electricity, Reggie Wayne was a receiver on this team too, but he was hurt the week before against Syracuse, and DNP did not play against UCLA this week as well. And another man that doesn't need any introduction, and trust me, UCLA's defense knew exactly who this man was by the end of the game. Number 5, Edgerrin James. Number 11 is your quarterback. No, not that number 11. Scott Covington was your quarterback. And Scott came into this contest a little slow. He had 1 touchdown versus 5 interceptions previous to that, so that was his stat line. In his defense, Miami did win 2 of those games. Didn't beat Syracuse. And let's go ahead and introduce the offensive line. Left tackle, Robert Hall. Left guard, Richard Mercier. Your center, Ty Wise. Your right guard, Damon Neely. And right tackle, this man said dominate, number 73, OBB alumni, Joaquin Gonzalez. Number 88, Daniel Franks was your tight end. And last but not least, and the recipient of this first down, Nick Williams was your fullback, number 36. Pay attention to this Mike linebacker. UCLA is combating this, I left set, very heavy up into the box. And even though you come into an I formation, you could still send 5 receiving threats for passing concepts. And that's exactly what University of Miami does. When they send King and Santana Moss for passes, they send both of their halfbacks in essentially different directions for passes. And your tight end is going to essentially take a seam route down the middle of the field. When this happens, you see that Franks is taking his DB with him. Now, this is when the Mike linebacker is losing his passing responsibilities or his pass coverage responsibilities. He's kind of spying Covington a little bit too long, loses sight of the fact that right here, Nick Williams is out into the flats. There's the pass, and there's an easy first down, 13 yards. Miami would extend the chains. Good job. Let's see how the rest of this game unfolds. Now, on the very next play in the first drive, something just shot out to me because you can kind of see some of the early RPOs start to take shape. And even though This essentially was a play action pass. You can kind of see when Covington goes ahead and takes a play fake to Edgerrin James. But as an offensive coordinator watching this back, you could see that Miami had the options if they wanted to run or throw. In this case, what allowed them to throw the ball, and Miami essentially could have came to the line of scrimmage with 2 plays. And the way Scott Covington had his cadence, I'm almost assuming that he did. And what was he reading pre-snap? He was reading the coverage at the top of the screen. You don't even see a DB going ahead over the top of Santana Moss. I mean, you see a shadow about 10 yards. I mean, this is Mark D'Onofrio coverage. I mean, this game, if this was on ESPN 1, I mean, this DB is on ESPN 3. So this is stealing. Take what the defense gives you. Simple offense, and that's exactly what happens here. Scott Covington's going to go ahead and take a quick play fake, throw it out to the top of the screen. There's Santana Moss, and simple offense. That's the way to move the chains. That's the way to keep a team that came in on a 20-game winning streak with the UCLA Bruins did and keep them off balance. So 3rd and 2, Miami facing another 3rd down in this first drive. And, well, before we go any further, can we pay homage to this logo? I forgot about this thing, the U in the middle of the hurricane. Look at that. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Anyways, Miami's coming up in big boy football, 22 set personnel. You're going to have your 2 running backs right there, Edgerrin James and Nick Williams, your fullback. And then here's your 2 tight ends. They're setting the run strength to the boundary side of the field. There you have. There's Franks right there in line, and you have your second tight end, Mondrell Fulcher, who plays a key pivotal block at the point of attack on this play. So he's going to come in motion, and when they do, UCLA is going to go ahead and check this. You see them go ahead and adjust. But of note, UCLA has 9 defenders that you can count essentially right. They're all right here. And then you're having a safety who's single high, and when your safety takes a bad angle, and then you get Mondrell Fulcher to get that key pivotal block I talked about right there. And there's Williams who seals it off. James's speed took care of the rest. Andre King with a key bang, bang. Great block by Andre King at the end of the field. The crowd's going nuts. The crowd's going wild. And I think this is when you knew Miami came to play. UCLA came in as the number 2 team in the nation on a 20-game win streak. It didn't matter. In 1998, when you had wide receivers on the team like Andre King, Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, you're probably going to say, who's Aaron Mosier, right? And in this case, when you go back to last season and we had somebody in the FIU game, the 2019 campaign, and he was left wide open on the line of scrimmage and we didn't, this is who Aaron Mosier is. Nobody covered him. Easy. You won't get an easier touchdown ever. 3rd and goal from the 8, and these pesky UCLA Bruins, yeah, they're not going to go away. Miami's up 14-7 at this point, but, some things just doesn't matter what era of Miami Hurricane football. Just watch this left tackle real quick, okay? And holding? No? Of course. Touchdown. Edgerrin James has already had a 45-yard touchdown on the game. He's just set a Miami record for 6 consecutive 100-plus yard games. We're not even to halftime. He's already done it. And this is going to be his 2nd touchdown. But you know who he needs to thank? Look at the left guard right here, Richard Mercier. Look at him on this pole right here. Nick Williams leads, and there he is, 62. Follows his block, pancake downfield, bang. 2nd touchdown. That would be Miami's 3rd lead of the game. They are now up 21-14. So Miami's reeling late here in the second half. They're down 38-21. But when they needed a spark, they went to their workhorse. Edgerrin James on the previous play went for a 36-yard gain. He just eclipsed 200 yards. He needs a spell. Miami fans are appreciative. They applaud him as he walks off the field. Now, implant Najee Davenport. 36 yards the previous play, and now it's going to be 24 yards down the sideline. There's the missed tackle that he needs. Gets on the outside, tight ropes. Bang. Comeback season, Canes fans. So this is going to be testament on why you simply don't give up on a play. Right here, Cade McNown is going to go ahead and play action pass, and once again, just wide open in the secondary. Right here, Dixon's going to go ahead and spin out of a tackle from Ed Reed, but Al Blades, I got you. Break out the turnover chain. it seems like during this rewind series, every time we highlight a game, there's going to be a press man corner facing a Miami wide receiver, and the Miami wide receiver just flat out embarrasses them. And that Miami wide receiver is Santana Moss. Now, a little backstory. Santana hasn't scored a touchdown since the Florida State game, but he picked a great time to shine, down 38-28, facing this 3rd and 5. Scott Covington is going to go ahead and fake this to Edgerrin James, and a simple post corner. Santana Moss with the catch, one-on-one, no safety. Wait for it. Bang. And just like his number, 6. My goodness, would you just look at that stat line? 37 carries for 303 yards, including 2 touchdowns. And I think at that point, you have the defense's attention. So this game, for me, will always be known as the Edgerrin James just go off game. But on the very next play, right here, remember when Fulcher came in motion and he had a 45-yard touchdown for Edgerrin James? Well, guess what happens? Hit him with the okey doke. Got him. There's Fulcher. Touchdown. Bang. Just like that. You know what set that up? 303 rushing yards by Edgerrin James. UCLA is facing a 3rd down conversion. They're a remarkable 9 of 12 at this point in the game. And in this case, which is so customary for this game, UCLA quarterback is just going to once again pick apart the Miami secondary. Now, right here, okay, this doesn't look good. UCLA goes in, they're moving inside plus territory, inside Miami's territory, with a chance to pretty much secure the game and run away with it. But when you needed a play, you're going to get one from this gentleman right here. And who do you think that is? That's number 20, Mr. Ed Reed. A vicious hit, jars the ball loose, Miami would recover. 1st down for the Canes. When you needed a play, it was Ed Reed who delivered. So here it is with 4 seconds left to go. Edgerrin James had another rushing touchdown and it put up the Canes 49-45. With 4 seconds left, this is when the UCLA Bruins national championship dreams died. Right here with an incomplete pass on the floor of the Orange Bowl. Miami wins.